Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today is Monday, December the 13th in 2021, and I'm Farid Younos. Thank you for watching Umid 24, broadcasting from Canada, and I am in California. Today we are discussing about the relationship of deen, quote unquote, religion, and politics. There are some Afghans that even some educated Afghans, and they do not want to see or understand, comprehend that in Islam, politics and deen is not separate. And they want to imitate non-Muslims on this issue, forgetting the fact that even in a true Christianity and also in true Judaism, religion and politics are not separate. In the West, there is an association between, they call it Judeo-Christian politics. In the West, that's what we have, Judeo-Christian politics. And what they did behind the forces of these Western societies, behind these forces are Christians and Jews. So this means that actually religion and politics is not separate. Especially in the United States of America, Christianity full-fledged is behind the American government. There are some rules and regulations that they are made from civil understanding of a political system. But that does not necessarily mean that religion and politics is separate. If the religion and politics is separate, why the White House is celebrating Christmas? What's the reason for that? Why we have on our currency notes, we have "In God we trust"? Why we have in the Constitution, we have "In the name of our Lord" in the date? Why, when someone become a president, they swear and put their hand on the Bible? So religion and politics is not as separate as they can think of, but these forces are behind the political system. Again, in Christianity, in true Christianity and Judaism, religion and politics is not separate. So in Islam. However, the role of deen, it's not to be imposed on people. So that is what the Americans are doing. They don't impose it on people. Our mistakes in Muslim countries, we impose it on people. While the Quran clearly says, La ikra fi din, let be no compulsion in religion. You can't impose religion on people. Religion is a matter of heart and mind, or deen, it's a matter of heart and mind. And everyone is responsible for his own deed and creed. But when you look at the definition of deen in Islam, and if you look at the definition of siyasiyya or politics in Islam, you will know that it's very vast and it's very broad. Deen in Islam is not just a belief system. It means leadership. It means ruling. It means a day off, like day of justice. Maliki Yawmuddin. It means a culture. It means a way of life. Deen is not just a belief system. And siyasiyya or politics in Islam means a method or way to pave the road for well-being of people. Siyasiyya means a method or way to pave the road for well-being of people. So the purpose of deen in politics is to, first of all, deen is a culture, deen is ruling, deen is leadership. In Islam, we have, if we did not have jihad, the minor jihad, not the major jihad, because jihad is asghar and akbar. Jihad akbar means that you have to fight for your own self to become a better person. That's jihad akbar, meaning the great jihad, that you fight to become a good person. You fight against your own soul. So every day we have to practice jihad akbar, meaning the great jihad, that you correct yourself. Jihad asghar, meaning the smaller jihad or minor jihad, is when you defend your deen against aggression. If we did not have the jihad asghar or minor jihad in Afghanistan, we would not be able to defeat the Soviet Union. That was because of jihad asghar. If later the jihad was derailed and the mujahideen could not truly rule the country, that's a different issue. That's totally a different issue. That how to bring a just leadership, how to unite people. This is all depends upon a good leadership. Even the Quran says, if you want, when you rule, rule with justice. If you rule, rule with justice. And they could not rule with justice. But it was because of the jihad asghar, the minor jihad, that the Soviet Union was defeated. America was not defeated militarily in Afghanistan. This is a big lie that some people believe and some people propagate, especially the Taliban. America was defeated strategically. America was defeated politically. That's what our youth should understand. So this is very important that people, even with a PhD, which makes me laugh, they say religion and politics should be separate. He neither studied Christianity truly, nor Western civilization truly, nor Islam truly. So, deen and politics are weaved together. Deen is a way of life, and politics is that we should rule with justice. In Afghanistan, or any other Muslim country, they failed to bring justice to their own people. And they imitated Western civilization. And anything that you imitate, it's not the same. Because democracy is a homegrown phenomenon. It's a homegrown concept. You can't bring, that's one reason that Afghanistan democracy failed, because it was not homegrown. Today, December the 13th, 2021, between 7:20 to 7:29 in the morning, I will let you exactly know the date and time, there was a beautiful report about democracy on NPR, National Public Radio in the United States. National Public Radio. There was a lady who was discussing the different different aspect of democracy. Please listen to that. The date of that show, radio talk show, is Monday, December 13, at between 7:20 to 7:29 on NPR, National Public Radio. And it was very interesting that they were discussing that China also claimed to have a democracy. And the lady who was an expert, she says, democracy, it doesn't matter if it's one rule party or two parties or 10 parties, as long as people are involved in the decision making, that's a democracy. So the definition of democracy, it's very broad and different. We have different democracies around the world. The American democracy, it's not the same as the German democracy. The German democracy is not the same as the Russian democracy today. And when I went to China, and I knew that long time ago, and I mentioned many times that even Chinese claim to have democracy, because when I went to China for a conference, there was a big square, it was written in that big square that democracy, people, and rule of law. Or people, democracy, rule of law, something like that. Inside Beijing. So Afghans or Muslims failed to bring an Islamic democracy for themselves. The gathering of Saqifa, it was the gathering of Muslims after the pass away of the Prophet of Islam. When he passed away, the Prophet of Islam, people gathered together to choose their leader. That was a democratic act. That was a democratic scenario. That was a democratic step forward, that they have chosen their leader. In Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, he was chosen as the leader. The Saqifa gathering, albeit not perfect. Of course, 1400 years ago, it was not perfect. There was a lot of mistakes in there. But can you imagine 1400 years ago, Muslims got together to choose their leader? So what this means, that Muslims should choose their leader. No one can impose themselves like the Taliban did. And I'm so happy that neither Afghan Republic or Afghan people acknowledge them and recognize them as legitimate government, nor the international community so far. Tomorrow is going to be 4 months. A government, according to Islam, is coming by people's allegiance, and people should recognize them, and people should choose their leadership. In Islamic country, no one can impose themselves on people. One, no one can impose deen on people, that you should wear this type of clothing, or these are all personal issues of people. Or you should grow a beard, or you should go to the masjid for prayer, or you should not miss a prayer. That's none of government business. So the point today that we are making is that deen in politics, deen is a way of life, is a culture, is leadership, is ruling. It's a day of judgment. And at the same time, politics means to make people's lives better. That's what politics, in a simple sentence, to make people's lives better. And rule with justice. Justice means justice, adil in Islam, means that everything politically should be in moderation. Because the whole universe is created with moderation. So everything in a Muslim life must be in moderation. Adil, that's what adil is. So when some people come to power, first of all, people should pledge, or people should choose their leader. And then that leadership, whoever that may be, whether it's a woman or a man, they should rule with justice. And justice means that all tribes, especially in Muslim countries, we still have tribal system, network. All tribes should be equal before the law. All men and women should be equal before the law. All religious, quote-unquote, denominations, like mazhab. Mazhab is not deen. You need to know that. Deen is not mazhab. Mazhab is not deen. Mazhab is a derivative of deen that they created out of deen based on their own human understanding. Like mazhab Hanafi, mazhab Shafi'i, mazhab Shia, mazhab Sunni. All these mazhab or path, P-A-T-H, path, it is made out of deen. And that is also a personal thing. One has the right to be Shia, one has the right to be Sunni, one the right to be without any religion, any mazhab. Like I do not follow any mazhab, but I like to be a Muslim, because the Prophet of Islam, he was neither a Shia nor a Sunni, so I don't have a mazhab. Simple. But I like to be a Muslim, and I am a Muslim, and I'm very proud of that. So democracy is government of people, by the people, for the people. People is not just men. People is not just women. People is not one group of people, like a specific group. or coming from a specific tribe. People are the whole members of society. And whoever is over 18 has the right to participate in the political process. So democracy must be homegrown, based on people's cultural values. So the American Constitution, for example, which is the oldest democracy and constitution in the world, is based on Judeo-Christian principles. And that you need to understand. So a Muslim constitution should be based on Islamic values. And that's why I have written Islam and Democracy, Roadmap to Peace in the Middle East. I did not write this only for Afghanistan. I wrote this for all Muslim countries. And it is possible that we bring a democracy which is based on our own value system. So see here's the meaning of siyasiya, politics. Politics in Arabic is called siyasiya. This term is Arabic but not Quranic. It means to make state of affairs better, take care of people's livelihood, to guide people in what is in their interest, administering the affairs of the people, and to govern people. That's what siyasiya means. So, and at the same time, the meaning of deen. Deen is not only an Arabic word, but is also a Quranic term. It has different meanings in Arabic language, such as religion, quote unquote, which is a wrong translation in other languages, anything that's related to worshiping God, nation, believing by heart, and confession by the tongue, path, territory, leadership, ruling, kingdom, governing, judgment, the day of accountability, way of life and awareness. As noted, one of the meaning of deen is leadership, ruling, and governing. As it was elaborated earlier, religion is a forced translation to deen, as I told you in other programs. Please take this book from Amazon and read it. So religion and politics, or religion and deen, it's not separate. Deen cannot be imposed. Those who are rulers, they have to rule with justice. That is why the Taliban taking power, I don't call it government, because Taliban is not a government yet. The Taliban is not a government yet. Why? Because first, people did not pledge to the Taliban. Second, it is not recognized by the international community. It's a rogue group of people taking over the government, but they are not the government themselves. And they are not supposed to impose deen on people, and they're supposed to rule with justice. Justice means that you should not deprive people from their freedom. In anything that you want to make a kind of a bill, and that bill should be passed by the parliament. The parliament in a Muslim society, just like Western society, is a representative of people. So in every ruling or every bill passed in Islamic system must be aligned with cultural value and nature of people. The Quran is a book of guidance and justice and wisdom. But that does not mean that when I read the Quran, I have to apply it to my life, even if I believe in it. The Quran clearly tells me what to do and what not to do. If I am following the Quran, that is my own decision. If I am not, that's also my own decision. So, but the government that drive the rulings, not from mazhab, because in a Muslim society, there are different mazhab. There are Shias, there are Sunnis, there are different branches of Sunnis, there are different branches of Shias. So you can't make a ruling out of one mazhab, because there are no such things as majority and minority in Islam. And that I explained in my book, Principles of Islamic Sociology. Principles of Islamic Sociology. That I have written in 2011. That in Islamic society, anyone says, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, that means that he's a Muslim. Whether he's a Shia, whether he is a Sunni, or anybody. Now, the question is, what about those who are not Muslims? In Islamic society, those who are not Muslims are our brothers too, because we are either brothers in deen to each other or brother in creation. That all makhluk, all those who are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are brothers in creation. So they have the same rights and privileges. And we should not deprive them of their rights and privileges. And especially presidency or leadership in an Islamic society, it's a civil responsibility. It doesn't matter who is in charge, as long as they follow the law. But the law is made out of the Quran. That is for whole humanity, meaning Rabbil Alameen. It does not say Rabbil Muslimin. It says Rabbil Alameen. So everybody will enjoy under the leadership of Islamic government. And that's why the Taliban are not legitimate. They have to be toppled either by force or by public revolution. Anyway, they want to come forward and then topple the Taliban, because the Taliban are not legitimate government for Afghanistan. They are forcing people to pray. They are forcing people to. They are forcing women to stay at home. They are enforcing deen based on their own understanding, and that is not Islam. Islam, as you know, the meaning of Islam, it's a deen of peace. Islam means peace. You have to bring peace to the people. Currently, people are in turmoil. They are deprived of their freedom, their human rights, everything. And that's not Islam. The Taliban must be toppled, either by force or revolution. There's no any other way. We don't want to be Afghanistan or any other Muslim country. Do not want to be exploited under the name of religion or deen. Because deen did not come to exploit people. Deen came to free people from any servitude. Thank you very much for today, and I'm Farid Younos. I will see you next week. Assalamu alaikum.